Let's see how much time we have. You got a minute. Here we go. Let's play this one more time.
Strangers, once you walk inside that door, we welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. We are all friends here. There are no strangers once you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. And hold you in our hearts the way you are. And hold you in our hearts the way you are.
Good morning, and before you sit down, thank you, Roger. Before you sit down, let us do our blessing to each other. And we say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And just take a minute and look around and behold the Christ in all these beautiful people here this morning. Oh, what a joy. Yes, Ron, shake it up. Okay, now you may sit down. And before we go into prayer, I would like to introduce Reverend Joe Sloan and his wife Lynn, who are with us this morning. And Laura, who are with us this morning. And then give yourselves a hand. I mean, it is you that make this church. So let's take a deep breath together and sigh it out. Let us settle ourselves on our chair, just letting all of our weight sink in, knowing that our chair is holding us firmly, that the universe is holding all of us, that we never need fear. We are holding and being held in all the love and the joy and the peace and the faith that we could possibly imagine. So as we sit here together this morning, just feeling the energy of love and joy, just knowing that we are here for the single purpose of community in love with Spirit. Our hearts are full. Our minds are open. We are here knowing that Unity Church in Reading is a blessed place and is moving toward even greater than we are today. And for this we are grateful. And my heart is filled with joy and love. And I say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Okay. And now, Kim.
And now we get to light our Christ candle. And how about Kingston? Are you ready? All right. Still hard to blow out through a mask, isn't it? Thank you, Kingston. And let's bless our candle together. We light this candle to remind us that the light of Christ lives within each one of us. And together, I am the light of Christ. And now we have a special blessing.
We do.
A new member.
We do. So at this time, I would like to invite Mary Aguinaga to come up. Thank you, Mary. And our board, please, if you will join us. It is certainly not necessary to be a member of a spiritual community. But when we are, we have chosen to make a commitment to live by the Christ principles, a commitment to be here whenever possible, and a commitment to share ourselves with love and joy. And Mary has made that commitment. So we have invited our board up this morning, Mary, to support you. Our congregation is here to support you. You have chosen to hold active membership at Unity Church in Reading.
Yes.
The spiritual principles, responsibilities, and obligations of membership have been explained to you, and you have expressed your willingness to become a member by verbal agreement and by your signature on the membership covenant. By your willingness to become a member in this spiritual community, you have agreed to abide by the basic teachings of unity, to honor the spiritual truth in all religions, and to make your spiritual unfoldment and relationship with God a priority in your life. As your spiritual community, we rededicate ourselves to Unity Church in Reading and commit to supporting you on your spiritual path. Congregation, if you agree, will you please join with me in saying, I do? I do. Think of all that support you have. Isn't that great? Oh, your spiritual family has rededicated itself to our sacred community and to supporting you on your path. We honor you for your commitment to this ministry and present you with this little pin representing your pledge to our church. And this pin says, believe. And it reminds us that when we believe in things hoped for and not yet seen, we can imagine miracles in our life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us, Mary. And Mary, quite so fast.
Oh.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you Mary Aguinaga, our newest member. And Mary's name is sort of like ornamenty. If you see it written out, you would have no idea how to say it. And so we just call it Mary A. Thank you for joining us, Mary. And now, Laura is going to join us for our Lord's Prayer.
And as usual, I know that many of you know this version, and you're welcome to sing with us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever.
We're going to let you go into the joy song.
Oh. The new changing order always surprises me. Actually, I need, boy, this is a day with a lot of extras. A lot of extras. There we go. What is mine to give? So this is an upbeat, peppy song, so if you don't mind standing, and you can use your shaker, you can dance a little. What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I is mine to do. All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? I give it to you.
And now, daily word out.
Well, great to see you all on this beautiful, beautiful day. Gosh, we never know what our friends from up there on the mountain, up on Shasta, bring to us with their wonderful scope of music. I came in, heard the drum beat going, I heard the keyboard tickling some kind of Irish melody, and I thought, heck, all I need is a pint of Guinness. I'm sorry, Pastor. Oh, here we go. Well, anyway, today's word, dominion, is not a word that, it's not my working vocabulary. I mean, it's just like, I don't go around and say, I have dominion, or it's just, but it's a beautiful word. It's powerful, and, so when I saw it pop up as our daily word, I thought, oh, dominion. Where are we going to go with this today? But then I started to think about, Pastor had a couple of weeks ago had from a philosopher, take this moment as though you chose it, wherever that moment could be very positive, very, very negative. In every situation, we can choose how we think about that. And I thought, you start to weave these things together, and they come into dominion. So for those of you who are away from us at home or elsewhere, we join with you. Please join with us in the daily word. You're with us in spirit always. And I will read the affirmation, and then if you'll join with me. Claiming dominion, I am calm and confident. Please join with me. Claiming dominion, I am calm and confident. I am a powerful spiritual being endowed with dominion, the authority to take command of my thoughts, words, and actions. Even as I work to change my circumstances, I remember I am not constrained by what is happening around me. Claiming dominion, I choose my response in all situations. I live with poise and confidence. I claim dominion over my thoughts and feelings. When I recognize limiting thoughts, I train myself to affirm my spiritual power and freedom. Divine wisdom guides me. I feel the strength of this indwelling Christ presence moment by moment, thought by thought, as I use my dominion to establish a positive, fulfilling direction for my life. These thoughts were inspired by the Genesis chapter 1, 26th verse. Then God said, let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion.
We're laughing, but we need to breathe. This is our meditation time.
as we rest in the final notes of this music, we prepare ourselves for that quiet time of meditation, when we can join the indwelling Spirit. We feel that energy. We know that we have accepted this divine appointment to be here in the presence of this loving sanctuary, with each person being the radiating center of God's love. We are so blessed. And as we go into the silence, we hold that oneness. We hold that wholeheartedness. We hold that we are divine. As we prepare to return to this time in this place, we give thanks to our ego mind for participating with the divine. Together, we enter into this afternoon. Each step we take, we know that we are a manifestation of Spirit here on earth. And we know through this meditation that we are guided. We are guided in our steps and in our thought. For we are one in Spirit. And we know that we have others on our mind that we would like to send prayers to. So let's take this opportunity to bring their name into this healing sanctuary of love. Let's say their names aloud. And we know that we are the foundation of this love. We are the foundation of this sending of healing, prosperity, and love. So let's place our names aloud in this wonderful sanctuary of love. Our names, the names of each person we mention, each situation, and even those that pop up later in the day into our minds. They're enfolded, along with the prayers in our prayer box, the prayers of silent unity, and they are blessed as thy will be done. And so it is, now and forever. Amen. And now we get to enjoy more singing.
I'm not sure whether today is more full of music or comedy. But we're going to give you something serious to think about now. Starlight filters through the dream time, sending its brilliance to the world. So many questions in the meantime, forgetting all the games, where to turn to go now, who will hold your hand, who will touch your perfect dreaming heart. Birds flying home, and the water flowing swiftly. Where are they going in the twilight? It's the answer to our prayers, the mystery unspoken, soul sudden, broken and free. The elemental fiber, the path beyond desire, the grace that lifts us high till we see. Can you see your face in the mirror of the angels, who whisper back the secrets of our lives? It's the answer to our prayers, the mystery unspoken, the song sung unbroken and free. The elemental fire, the path beyond desire, the grace that lifts us higher till we see. Take a deep breath into the wonder of your loving, precious soul. Can you feel it? The beauty of each day we walk this earth refines our wonder into the whole. It's the answer to our prayers, the mystery unspoken, the song sung unbroken and free. The elemental fire, the path beyond desire, the grace that lifts us higher till we see. Till we see. Till we see. Till we see.
And now I'd like to introduce to you Reverend Joe Sloan, who is our regional consultant, and he's going to be really giving us some information today, some inspiration, and always doing our best when each soul has its mission. Reverend Joe.
I got to wondering as I was sitting there what it must be like for long-time grandparents.
No.
That again. No. I was wondering as I was sitting here in 1910, a young Army lieutenant by the name of Benjamin Floyd.
We're not on yet.
It's not.
That's why we're doing this.
What did I hear you say? 1910.
Forward, right? How about now?
Mm.
Now, 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead and try 2 words.
1, 2. As I was saying, sitting here, I got to wondering, what it must be like for old-time bank people to, when the door opens in the morning at 9 o'clock and they see a whole bunch of people coming in wearing masks. You got to have a little moment of anxiety. Good to be back in Reading again. I've been here so much lately that when I put my weather app on in my phone, it gives me the weather in Reading. Doesn't have much to do with what's going on in Auburn. It's wonderful to be here. This is a wonderful place, wonderful people, and we spent a lot of time working with these two wonderful people. Something I'm proud of. I usually start, or often start, a lesson with a quote from Scripture, but I'm not going to do that this morning. I'm doing a quote from poetry, from my favorite poet of all time, Alfred Tennyson. And this is what he had to say. That God which ever lives and loves, one God, one law, one element, and one far-off divine event, to which the whole of creation moves. The great Tennyson. When I was in high school, my brother John and I were great readers, and we were reading a lot of poetry and memorizing some of it. One of those was Locksley Hall, which was one of our favorites, and it's one of those poetry with heroic, tragic things happening, lost love, perfect for a high school kid. After high school, my brother John went off to boot camp in Bainbridge, Maryland, and it took you through the usual rigors. They try to make it hard on you for a while. And so one night, they're all back in the barracks, and everybody's in bed, and they turn the lights off. And my brother John decides to emote for some reason in the silence. All 50 guys in the room, quiet. And so he goes, I remember one who perished, sweetly did she speak and move. Such a one do I remember whom to look at was to love. Should I think of her as dead and love her for the love she bore? No, she never loved me truly. Love is love forevermore. Again, a moment of silence. From the end of the barracks, a deep voice. All right, Mother Goose, let's knock it off and get some sleep. Mother Goose. But that's the way it is with life a lot of times. When things seem to be going, the way we want them to go, and now when somebody says, knock it off, and we go in another direction. That's all you can do. But the poet was right. Love is love forevermore. All things change, but that doesn't change. Almost without knowing, we seek that one far-off divine event to which the whole of creation moves. It's our hope, it's our joy, it's our driving force. All creation, whether we recognize it or not, moving in that one, towards that one great event. It's our mission as a ministry, as your ministry here, and as an individual soul, and every one of us, every soul has a mission. We come from God, and because we are made of God, we share the very attributes of God. The nature of God is our nature, love, joy, creativity. We're wired that way. We come here wired that way. That is what we are. And every soul has the ability to give and receive love and to enjoy life and be happy. Sound good? As Tennyson says, enjoy all the wonders that would be. The wonders that would be. They're still out there. It may happen today, probably. We're strengthened by the belief of the tremendous truth, the ability that we have to create, to begin to go another direction if we have to, this direction, that direction. We have that ability to create. You and I are so much more than meets the eye. And someday we'll come to believe those words that Jesus told us before he left. These things I do, he said, you can do, and even greater things can you do. Believing in God gives us a spiritual incentive. It gives us a leg up in life. It's like having a parent who will support, guide us with unconditional love. We come to realize and appreciate that we are capable of so much more. And we are comforted by the thought that we are not in charge. We have to remind ourselves of that every now and then. Not in charge, nor do we need to be. All we ever need to be is our best. Our best. And what does that entail? A mission statement for any one of us might be, I express the love and joy of God in all that I say and do, and in that process I move myself and all my brothers and sisters closer to peace and joy, closer to God. We live in that manner, making wise choices. Our spiritual energy expands. Remember Deepak Chopra saying that we were 99.999% energy and intelligence. It would make for a rather interesting picture in our photo album, wouldn't it? What would that look like? I always wondered. We activate that energy when we know God, when we come to know ourselves, when we come to recognize that we are more than this body. We have to keep reminding ourselves of that, because we do so much work trying to keep this body going. We think we're the body, and we're so much more than that. More energy, more loving, we can be more creative, more joyful. Does that sound like too much work? Course in Miracles says that it's impossible to be tired, but it is very possible to exhaust oneself. We do so with constant judgment. And who do we judge the most? Yeah, we judge ourselves. We put our own self down, and that's exhausting, is it not? Exhausting. God sees you as a beautiful child, capable of expressing love and joy. So would you contradict God? Well, we do. We do it all the time. We see ourselves limited in so many ways. Our past, the worst thing that happened to us is gone. It's not here today unless you wish to bring it back and let it disturb you even more. No, it's the past. They call it the past because it's past. It's gone. We allow ourselves to be limited by the opinions of others. That's a big one. What anyone thinks of you, and you know this, you've heard it before, and you'll hear it again, what anyone thinks of you has very little to do with you and everything to do with them. So you might say to somebody when they criticize you for something, you might say, I hope that's helpful to you. Probably won't say that, but that's helpful to you. When we let go, forgive ourselves, forget the past, forget what others think, we are not limited, and we can proceed on with our soul mission of expressing love and joy. So why do we hold on to those limiting things? We have put a value on them for some reason. Something that is a bad part of our life, and we put a value on it, and so we hold on to it. If we put the value on it, then the good news is we can remove that value from it. Just remove it, and it can be gone. We have that power. It's been said that we are not so much afraid of our weaknesses, but our power. Are we afraid to use our power? We've been wired for love and joy and strength and all these attributes of God, and yet we hesitate to use it. Are we afraid to express love and joy to all of our brothers and sisters? Well, what if they don't love us back? Well, it has nothing to do with us, really. It's not our mission, it's their mission. You've done what you need to do. You've given love. How it comes back to you is not your job. And we don't have to be perfect. It's always comforting for me to know, and I fully believe, that God does not keep score. I don't know if I've told the story before, but a man was, it was actually Lynn's boss's father, passed away, and so the Irish Catholic priest was conducting the service, and I spent 47 years as a practicing Catholic, so this was a great surprise and joy to me. He says, he says, when you get up there to heaven, the first thing you're going to want to do is start apologizing to God for all the stuff you did. He says, and I think God will just say, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on in and have a good time. I'm banking on that. All our mission calls for us is that we do our best to be loving, to express God. And our best today may be not as good as our best yesterday, but our best tomorrow may be better than today. And it doesn't matter either way. All it needs to be is the best. It's not like the Olympics, which are going on right now. There's not one winner. We're all winners when we do our best. We all win the gold. If you do your best, you win. Abraham Lincoln once said, I do the very best I know how, the very best I can, and I mean to keep doing that until the end. We had the opportunity one time, Lynn and I, to be in that room where Lincoln died. It was the most powerful place in the world. Talk about people dying. But his energy is still in that room. It vibrates through it. It was almost had to grab hold of something. It was that powerful. He did that to the end. That's all we have to do. Keep doing our best. In the end, never really ends. It's just crossing over into another life, another way of living. God only expects us to make meaningful progress. Each moment provides us an opportunity to express our godliness, especially when it involves other people. Relationships are the greatest challenge and our greatest opportunity. When you succeed in a relationship, you feel energized, don't you? It just feels so great when things are going so well with somebody or with a community even. And if you fail, it's exhausting. And that's where that judgment comes in. That's where withholding love is exhausting. Let me pause for just a moment to think about someone or something to which you are withholding love. Is that not painful? It is. It is. I know it is. We can accomplish our mission in our own time, in our own way, but we can do so much more in relationship. It's the reason we are here. It's the reason we have unity of Reading. Why we'll continue to have unity of Reading on into the years. For all the other people that will come, you have created a space for people who will come here for years and years, like they have been coming here for years and years. You provide a very important function. What would be missing if you didn't have this community? You built this community with love, your love, and you are, as my Irish aunt used to say, one of the pillars of the church. How's it feel to be a pillar? But you are. Each of you are a pillar of the church. If we accept our mission, and we don't have to, by the way, Jesus did not have to accept his mission. Interesting. This earth, to put it in Olympic terms, has a very high degree of difficulty. As the song goes, if you can do it here, you can do it anywhere. We must contend with fear. Someone, or groups of someone, are always trying to lead us astray, trying to make us afraid. If you do it this way, you're going to be in trouble. But if you do it our way, you're okay. Fear is used, and fear has no place in the world. It's a construct of humans. It's not the truth. Never is. So we face fear and we respond with love. We need to remember that we are of God, and no one or no thing is against us. No one, no thing is against us, unless we allow them to do that. We allow them ourselves. We say yes. Come on, make me afraid. Afraid to give yourself to your personal mission, to unity of writing, to give of your time, your talent, your money. Yes, it takes money to create this space that we're doing. Love brought it into being, keeps it going, but we need our treasures to help support that. That's just the way that it goes. It's the way that it is. One of our greatest fears is lack of, the fear of lack. We're afraid that if we give of ourselves, of our time, yes, of our money, we won't have enough. It defies the law of giving and receiving. Giving and receiving happen at the same time. You may not see it, but it does. It does. It always does. So one of our greatest fears is that lack of, the fear of lack, which of course, like so many things, reminded me of an Irish story. A very important part from Scripture to us, and particularly important to Lynn and I, is the story of the feeding of the 5,000. A few years ago when we were in the Holy Land, we were able to stand on top of this hill which swept on down to the Sea of Galilee, and that is the place where the feeding of the 5,000 in however manner took place. Gosh, it was a powerful feeling. Powerful feeling. But as I say, it reminded me of an Irish story. Happened to Father Murphy. He was having a very bad morning. It was Sunday morning. But he had been out visiting the people of the parish the night before, and they're always willing to give him a little refreshment. And so that's not feeling so good. And Mrs. Muldoon, the housekeeper, is in one of her moods, and the breakfast is cold. And the bishop called during the breakfast, and that's never good. And when he gets over to the sacristy, there's one of the altar boys or mission, but he's got to go on, so he goes on. And then it comes to the homily, to the lesson. And whether it's all the confusion of the morning and the ways of feeling, or whether it was that he has told the story too many times, what he told them was Jesus took 5,000 loaves of bread and 3,000 fishes and fed 5 people. Well, O'Reilly's sitting in the second row there. He said, "Oh, that's not a miracle. I could do that." So the whole week, Father Murphy seething. I love that word, seething, over what Riley had said to him. And so the next Sunday he decides to do the same homily, but he would get it right. And he does. He puts the zeros in the right place. And then he looks down at O'Reilly and he says, "O'Reilly, do you think you do that? Feed 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 3 fishes?" He says, "Yes, Father." He says, "I believe I could." And he says, "And how would you do it?" He says, "I believe I could do it with what you had left over from last week." The fear of lack is a big thing, and it's so unnecessary in our life. There's an old unity song. Maybe some of you know it, and if you do, just sing it with me. I just want to sing a few lines because I like to do that. It goes like this: "Flow, Spirit, flow, and all my fears release. I am a channel of thy love and peace. Fill me with power and let my heart be strong. Fill me with joy that I may sing thy song. Good one, huh? That's no good being Irish if you can't sing. But that's an excellent song to keep in your head during these rather challenging times. I think every time must be a challenging time. It just seems like more now than ever before, or at least in my lifetime. It helps to remind us that we are never alone. We are never, ever alone. I always loved that prayer of protection. It was James Freeman, Jim Freeman, who I got to know fairly well, Carried to the Moon by Buzz Aldrin. And it's up there now. And I always thought when we say that prayer of protection, I just think of it being up there on the moon. Fear, unforgiveness of the past, fear what others think, fear what we think they think, fear of lack. If I give of my time, my talent, my treasures, I won't have enough. It's not the truth, not the truth. The law of giving and receiving cannot be disproved. These things distract us from our mission of expressing the love of God in our spiritual life, in our physical life, and they become the same thing. We did a visioning, you did a visioning last week on what you wanted this ministry to be. For you, specifically for you. Yes, with group thinking, that's good. But what did you want this ministry to be for you personally? And that was good. That was the beginning of things. You're close to it. But today we're going to do a visioning. And by the way, everybody is invited, not just the board or the transition team. Everyone is invited, and it's important that you be part of it. We say that the minister is not the story, and he or she is not. Each of you are the story that composes this ministry. One story, one song. But you need to have a minister to facilitate those stories. That's his or her job. And you need to have a good facilitator, someone who would lead you, as Tennyson says, towards that one far-off divine event. And the event he's talking about does not come just with death. It comes with life. It's all of us coming together, working together. What Charles Fillmore, our founder, said is unity. That's why he called it unity. Coming together, doing this together. We're all concerned with our own well-being, that's great, our spiritual growth. But we need to remind ourselves that we are part of a team. And if we graduate from this Earth Academy, we need to be a beacon of light for all those people around us. That's what you are. So that you get to the point where you're able to help other souls who are going through a hard time. And each of us, and that's why I talk about the stories, you know. When I had my own ministry, I knew specific stories. I looked around the room and I knew this one from that and this and the other thing. And I knew the hard times that some people, and the joyous times too. We celebrate those and we take care of the hard times. And we do that as a group. We do that together. And that's why we come here. And we'll go on to the end of time. But in order to do that, we need to be able to say to ourselves, I did my best to create heaven on earth, at least in my corner of the world. Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to express the love of God to all of our brothers and sisters through unity of readiness and in our own no monarchy world. The Course in Miracles says, when a mind has only light, it knows only light. Its own radiance shines all around it and extends out into the darkness of other minds, transforming them into majesty. Wow. You have that ability to transform someone else's mind into majesty. You're so powerful. Congratulations. Our mission, yours and mine, is to do the best of our ability, and we'll be guided to making wise choices and using our head-heart connection. We can't go wrong. Until, as Tennyson said, we reach that one far-off divine event to which the whole of creation moves. So I will do my best, strengthened by that truth, that God will do the rest. I do my best and God does the rest. Let's say that together. I do my best and God does the rest. And so it is. God bless all here and all those with whom we pray.
Wow. That was great. I think we all have our marching orders to be the best we can and let God take care of the rest. Knowing that there is no fear, there's no lack. Wow, what a powerful message. And now's the time that we can reinforce the idea that the act of giving and receiving happened at the same time. That we are so blessed by the giving of our time, our talents, and our treasure. So let's take this opportunity to hold our treasure in our hands and let's bless it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Abundance. And let's do our consciousness statement at this time also. Together, divine order is now manifesting in every phase of this ministry through its expanding prosperity, attendance, and by being a light on the path for others. So it is.
are. And don't we love and bless each other in this congregation? Just so grateful that each of us is in this world. So with great gratitude, I accept the offerings and the tithes that have been given this morning. It is with generous hearts that each of you choose to continue the work that we do from Unity Church in Reading, both for our own community, for the greater community of Reading, and beyond into the world. We do love and we do bless each person who is here and each human being that resides on this earth. With great love in my heart, I say thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. All right, so we have our wonderful announcements now. First of all, thanks Anton and Laura for being here today. It was a very special day for you to be here. And Reverend Joe and Liz, thank you so much. And as some of you know, yes, Reverend Joe has been working with me for some time, and now for our transition team as we move toward our next step here at Unity Church in Reading, and we are so grateful. Thank you. And thank you for all the volunteers that come to help with us, either on Sunday mornings or during the week. We appreciate all of you. And this is the first Sunday in February, and what is that?
Birthday.
Birthday Sunday. So, do any of you have a February birthday? Adam, Mary, Frank? Okay, and to all of you at home who may have February birthdays, we sing, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear everyone. Happy birthday to you. Hey, shall we do it again, Anton?
It's okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, we do have fun, don't we? The church office will be open Tuesday through Thursday this week from 10 until 4. We're always here for prayer, or if you want to come in and just chat with us. You can always see Ken or me before or after service for prayer, or during the week. Our noon meditation continues at 12 o'clock each day, and as you know, you're welcome to come here. And we also have our call-in number, which is in our e-news, our e-blast, and out on the hall bulletin board. A Course of Love and A Course in Miracles meet this week. A Course of Love is Wednesdays at 10, and A Course in Miracles on Thursdays at 10. You can check our bulletin boards for our AA meetings and any other 12-step programs. We use our sanctuary. The Android phone class, which I know one or two of you are going to be taking, is on the 8th of February. That's this coming Tuesday, isn't it, Ken? Tuesday? At 9:30 in the morning. And if you have questions, you can see Ken, and it's going to be right here. The meeting after church with Reverend Joe will discuss the future of our ministry here at UCIR. And if you remember last week, I didn't invite you. I beseeched you to please come to the meeting. And lo and behold, we had 20 people who stayed at our community meeting. It was truly a beautiful experience. So if you would like to have an uplifting experience where we're working in camaraderie toward our next steps, please stay. It's a wonderful opportunity. Our leadership class is going to begin next Sunday, the 13th, and will also be on the 27th. It's for 1 hour after class. And if any of you are interested in considering church leadership in any way, I invite you to join the class. But it's not just for that. It's if you would like to feel more empowered in the leadership skills that you have, whether it's for your family or your community or just in your own life. I think you'll like the class. There are no materials. We'll have everything available for you. Peggy McGuire's Circle of Friends, the Bruno Bruning Circle, will be meeting on February 27th. And fun things, Jerry has her chocolates available on the back table, so they're here. Next Sunday is Valentine's Sunday, so she'll have them here today and next Sunday, and you're welcome to take a look, and then if you'd like to purchase, they're available. And I'm getting a message from yes, the Way of the Heart, which meets us on the meets us. That was interesting. It meets on the first Thursday and the third Thursday of each month. We met this last Thursday, so we'll be meeting again on the 15th, 16th, like the 18th, something like that. Lori has a really wonderful class going. If you recall, last week we talked about at the community meeting that we were going to be writing ideas that we would like to see in the future of Unity Church in Reading. And Nancy wrote them on the chart for us. And then Reverend Joe had suggested that we keep these visible during this whole next 7 months of process. And we were thinking of a little clothesline idea or something, and Nancy said no clotheslines. And she made us a beautiful structure, which you'll see on the back wall, New Horizons for Unity in Reading. And we have all of the things hanging on it that were suggested last week, and then Nancy will make tags to hang on it for what we talk about this week, and that will hang here to remind us that we are who we are today, moving ahead into bigger and better, whatever that may look like. So Nancy, thank you. Western Service Workers is having their tamale cook-off. We can buy tamales. If you're interested, Western Service Workers has these tamales available for us to buy, and I will put right up here on the lectern the information about it because I forgot to bring it in this morning. But last year, Ken and I bought some of the tamales, and they were nice and tasty. So if you'd like that, it's a fundraiser for this community organization that does so much for those in our community who may need some assistance. I think that is it for this morning. The best thing is thank you all for being here. You are beautiful, wonderful souls, each of you on your own mission and doing your very best. And next Sunday, I will see you for Valentine's Sunday, where I will be speaking on love. So if you'll please stand, we will sing the peace song and do our prayer for protection. The presence of God watches over us.
We live our lives in God's presence.
Wherever we are,
God is.
and so it is. Have a beautiful week, and we will be gathering in about 10 minutes.